In a world where division often takes center stage, there lies a profound strength in the most unexpected place, the power of transformative love. With Elevate, we delve into this potent force, exploring how embracing those we perceive as adversaries can catalyze miraculous shifts in our lives and the world at large. Picture this, a world where every conflict, every misunderstanding, every hurt is met not with resistance but with understanding and compassion. This is not some far-off utopia. It's a reality within our grasp, achievable through the might of transformative love. History offers us countless examples of transformative love's power. Remember the wisdom and courage of Mahatma Gandhi, who led India to independence through nonviolent resistance, or the inspiring leadership of Martin Luther King Jr., who championed civil rights in the United States, guided by his belief in love and peace. Such luminaries remind us that love is not just a feeling, it's an action, a decision, a force of change that can alter the course of humanity. But where does this journey of transformative love begin? It starts within each of us. By nurturing self-love and understanding, we create a foundation from which to extend love and compassion to others. This allows us to see the shared humanity in those we might otherwise perceive as enemies, even when it's obscured by layers of conflict. Like the lotus that thrives in muddy waters, love flourishes in the face of adversity. It's in these challenging moments that we have the greatest opportunity to exercise transformative love, turning obstacles into catalysts for growth and unity. To embrace our perceived enemies doesn't mean condoning their actions. Instead, it's about recognizing the potential for change in every heart, choosing love over hate, understanding over judgment. This choice is our most powerful instrument for healing and transformation. As we navigate life's journey, let's choose the path of transformative love. It may be less trodden, but it's the road that leads to a future where peace and understanding are the order of the day. Together with Elevate, let's harness this power, crafting a world where love knows no bounds. It is the force that has guided leaders to inspire nations and ordinary people to perform extraordinary acts of bravery and kindness. But how do we begin to embrace those we perceive as our enemies? It starts within. Imagine you're standing in front of a mirror, taking a long, hard look at yourself. This isn't a moment of vanity, but a moment of self-reflection. It's a moment to acknowledge your strengths, your weaknesses, your triumphs, and your failures. It's a moment to understand that, like everyone else, you are a complex being, capable of both good and bad. This understanding is the cornerstone of self-love. It's the realization that while we may not always be perfect, we are always worthy of love and respect. It's about giving ourselves the grace to grow, to make mistakes, and to learn from them. It's about celebrating our uniqueness and accepting ourselves with all our flaws and imperfections. But self-love isn't just about us, it's about how we see others. Because when we learn to love ourselves, we begin to see the world through a lens of compassion and understanding. We begin to recognize that, like us, everyone is fighting their own battles, dealing with their own demons, and trying their best to navigate through life. This shift in perspective is the first step towards embracing our enemies. Because when we see the humanity in ourselves, we can see it in others too. We can see beyond the labels, the stereotypes, and the assumptions that often fuel conflict. We can see that beneath the surface, we all share a common thread of humanity. Embracing this concept allows us to approach conflicts not as battles to be won, but as opportunities for dialogue, growth, and mutual understanding. It allows us to see that even those we perceive as enemies are, in their own ways, just like us. They too have fears, dreams, hopes, and insecurities. They too are worthy of respect and understanding. But let's be clear here. Embracing our enemies doesn't mean endorsing their actions or beliefs. It means recognizing their humanity and meeting them with compassion even when it's difficult. It means choosing love over hate, understanding over judgment, and connection over division. By cultivating self-love and understanding, we open our hearts to see the humanity in others, even when it's hidden beneath layers of conflict. And that, my friends, is the power of transformative love. Like the lotus that blooms in the mud, love thrives in the most challenging conditions. In the midst of adversity, it's easy to lose sight of the beauty that can emerge. Just as the lotus flower grows through muddy waters to bloom in all its glory, so can love flourish in the most unlikely places. The power of transformative love isn't limited to the tranquil and comfortable. It extends to the gritty, the complex, the challenging. Picture this. When we find ourselves in a situation fraught with tension and conflict, we are presented with two paths. One leads down a familiar road of resentment, of bitterness, of walls built high. The other, a path less traveled, leads us towards understanding and compassion, towards transformative love. Choosing this path is by no means easy. It requires courage, patience, and an unwavering commitment to see beyond the surface. But when we do, we find that the mud of conflict and misunderstanding isn't just a barrier. It's fertile ground for the seeds of love and understanding to take root, to grow, to blossom. This is where the lotus of transformative love comes into bloom. In the face of adversity, it doesn't wilt. It doesn't shy away. Instead, it reaches towards the sun, radiating beauty and peace. It reminds us that no matter how murky the waters get, there is a potential for something beautiful to emerge. Just as the lotus doesn't bloom despite the mud, but because of it, so does transformative love grow stronger in the face of challenge. It's in these moments of adversity that we truly have the chance to practice love in its most potent form, to turn the mud of conflict into a fertile ground for growth and unity. Each challenge we face, every misunderstanding, every conflict is an opportunity to choose love over hate, understanding over judgment, unity over division, an opportunity to let the lotus of love bloom in the mud of adversity. It is in our toughest moments that we have the greatest opportunity to practice transformative love, turning adversity into a catalyst for growth and unity. Embracing our enemies does not mean condoning their actions. When we talk about embracing our enemies, we don't mean approving of their harmful actions or turning a blind eye to injustices. Far from it. On this journey of transformative love, we're talking about a different kind of embrace. Picture this. Imagine standing in front of someone who has wronged you, deeply hurt you, or caused harm to those you care about. In this moment, you're not asked to forget, to forgive immediately, or to pretend that everything is all right. Instead, you're asked to recognize something deeper, something that goes beyond the surface of conflict and hurt. You're asked to recognize the potential for change. This potential exists in every heart, like a dormant seed waiting for the right conditions to sprout and grow. It's the potential for understanding, the potential for reconciliation, the potential for healing. It's the potential for a person who has caused harm to transform, to learn, and to make amends. This potential is not always easy to see. It's often buried beneath layers of hurt, resentment, and misunderstanding, but it's there in every heart, waiting to be acknowledged. And when we choose to recognize this potential, we're making a powerful choice. We're choosing to believe in the capacity for change, in the redemptive power of love and understanding. But remember, recognizing this potential doesn't mean we ignore the harm that's been done. It doesn't mean we let injustice slide. It's not about absolution, it's about transformation. It's about opening the door to healing, not just for ourselves, but for those who have caused harm as well. Embracing our enemies does not mean condoning their actions. It means recognizing the potential for change in every heart and choosing love over hate, understanding over judgment. It's the choice to see beyond the hurt, beyond the conflict, and into the heart of another human being. It's a choice that has the power to transform not just our relationships, but our world. Let's choose love. Let's choose understanding. Let's choose transformation. Together we can change the world. As we journey through life, choose the path of transformative love. This is not just a path, but a voyage into the heart's deepest corridors, where the seeds of compassion, understanding, and unity lie dormant, waiting for the nurturing light of love to awaken them. Just imagine a world where the walls of hostility crumble, replaced by bridges of understanding. A world where the language of empathy drowns out the clamor of discord, and the melody of unity resonates in every corner. This is the world transformative love can help us create. It's a world where every tear shed in pain becomes a catalyst for change, where every conflict is seen as an opportunity to grow and learn. It's a world where the power of love becomes the guiding force, leading us towards a future infused with peace and harmony. Choosing the path of transformative love is not always easy. It requires courage, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to see beyond our differences. It asks us to challenge our prejudices, to forgive, and most importantly, to love without conditions. Yet every step taken on this path, every heart touched by the power of transformative love, brings us closer to a world where compassion is the norm, not the exception. Imagine a world where every child grows up in an atmosphere of love and respect, where the seeds of peace are sown in their hearts from the moment they take their first breath. A world where every person, irrespective of their race, religion, or nationality, is seen as an integral part of the human family. This is the promise of transformative love. It's a promise that begins with you and me, here and now. It's a promise that unfolds with every act of kindness, every word of understanding, every gesture of empathy. As we step into the future, let us carry this promise in our hearts. Let us water the seeds of transformative love within us and watch as they bloom into a garden of unity and understanding. Together with Elevate, embrace this power and create a world where love knows no bounds.